Hey guys, welcome back to another inSTEM video. As you will notice, this video is a bit of a different format and style to the ones that you're used to seeing. In today's video, I have not got a guest with me, but I am going to be delving into a topic related to guests. I'm going to be sharing some enlightening insights that I've captured from my conversations from my various guests across the years. But before I get into that, I'd like to welcome some special people. Those of you who are new and tuning in to inSTEM for the first time, thank you for tuning in. It's great to have you. In case you're wondering what inSTEM is a platform dedicated to empowering young and aspiring STEM professionals to build successful and incredible careers. If you consider yourself to be someone who is driven, who is passionate, and genuinely cares about making a difference and wants to build a fulfilling and exciting career, then you have come to the right place. I hope you find this video valuable and I hope you stick around for a while. Now let's get into the lessons I've learned from my guests. The first one is courage. Courage is a quality that has shown through from all of the various conversations I've had with guests over the years. As you know, my guests are people who have forged incredible career paths. You know, they've ranged from founders to CEOs to advocates to champions of amazing initiatives. And courage is a consistent theme that has emerged from their story. When I think of someone like Naomi, who I absolutely admire, she turned her dissertation into a business venture. Now, she was given an opportunity at university to choose an independent topic for her dissertation. She decided to choose an area that was close to her heart, which was looking into a quicker recovery of injuries for athletes. This is something that she had been impacted by. When she was younger, she used to do ballet and she became injured at some point. And unfortunately, it took her several years to recover from those injuries. So she decided to, spend her time researching into the area. And upon completing her dissertation, she found it to be a topic that she was really fascinated and interested by and wanted to actually found a whole venture out of it. I can imagine at the time, it wouldn't have been an easy decision for her to make. As you can imagine, most of colleagues would have been, applying for graduate jobs.
And we graduated and everybody started getting jobs.
Pursuing a path that guaranteed income, job security. And even though she, during her interview, mentioned to me that she had a graduate job secured, she believed so much in her dream.
Aww.
And in the potential of that idea that she wanted to spot something commercial out of it. Fast forward 4 years now, her company, which is called MoveTrue, which is a multi-award-winning technology startup, has raised hundreds of thousands of pounds from funding, and they continue to thrive. I think Naomi's story really serves as an encouragement to go after those pursuits, those dreams. You don't have to have everything figured out, and you probably won't always have everything figured out, but you cannot make a real difference without, having courage. I hope that story encourages you to go for it. If there are any ideas, any inspirations you've had over the years and you're feeling like you don't have everything figured out about them, just go for it, take the risk. And if it doesn't pay off, you will learn great lessons from it that will build the foundation for your future success. The second lesson that I've learned across my guests' interviews and stories is goals with flexibility. I love the quote which says, "Be stubborn about your goals, but flexible about your methods." I think my guests have demonstrated this powerful wisdom, the ability to be flexible about their goals. It's very common for most of us to plan goals, and they're incredibly important for us in life to move forward. But often, one common pitfall I find from speaking to people is that they plan their goals in a manner that is so rigid that leaves very little room for life's surprises. And this often leads to frustration and loss of motivation and so on. I think it's really important to be flexible about how we achieve our goals. And I think Jennifer's story embodies this. So she set out initially, while she was in secondary school in sixth form to study medicine. But unfortunately, she encountered a financial situation that basically forced her to stop, her applications. And that in itself actually caused her to stop and think and reflect about what she wanted to do. And what she was able to clarify that the impact she wanted to make was to improve patient care and improve access to treatment and medicines. She soon recognized that medicine wasn't the only way to get there and that there were other alternative paths. So she decided to pursue bioscience, and today she is making great impact in that area. And also inspiring many along that journey. One thing that I learned from her story was there's no point, expending your resource and energy and time in a path that is proving unfruitful. She stuck to a core vision, which was to make impact in the healthcare space, but she sought alternative means to get there. And I think it's really important to be cognizant that often there are several ways to which we can get to our goals. And once we, pursue an initial path that's proven unfruitful, then we should, embrace the ability to adapt as, life, throws its curveballs. The third point is the power of passion projects outside of your 9 to 5. Consistently across the various stories that I've been involved in curating for inSTEM, I've seen that my guests have fostered their passions outside of their 9 to 5, and it has been an incredibly game-changing, pursuit for them. And even I can testify to this. A lot of the people that I've interviewed include sustainability champions, for example, or diversity and inclusion advocate. These are people who've actively been involved in networks outside of their 9 to 5. And what has emerged from their stories is by being involved in those projects, so many new skills have been unlocked as a result, or even some of their existing skills have been refined by the reason of being, involved in those networks or groups. A lot of them have been connected to opportunities around leadership, around innovation, around, mentorship that has really helped them to build and refine their skills. Of course, there's a massive caveat here, and it's within the boundaries of your employment. If your employment will allow you to foster your passions outside of work, and sometimes there are actually opportunities within your organization that allows you to go above and beyond your 9 to 5 responsibilities, you will find that often these projects and fostering those interests, you get connected to like-minded people, you learn so much more, and actually they really complement your 9 to 5. You find that you develop new perspectives, you become more well-rounded, and as a result, that then positions you for amazing opportunities within your 9 to 5. So make sure you identify what your passions are, your interests are, and find avenues through which you can nurture them within your work or outside of your work. I'm going to round up on a story from Justice. Justice was an amazing young African guy that I interviewed a couple of years ago. Now, he had a real and interest in energy and genuinely wanted to see, improved outcomes for Africa in the energy space. And whilst he was at university, he nurtured this interest by setting up groups, by joining networks that were focused on sharing and collaborating on ideas and focused on energy. Little did he know that he was building, the strength and the resilience and the capability to become now currently one of the world's future energy leaders. He sits on the committee of the World Energy Council, representing Africa to share and drive, unique perspectives on energy. So go out there, find what your passions are, find the right networks and connections to foster them. Number 4 is collaboration. We've all heard this of the saying, there is strength in numbers, and that no man is an island to himself. Another thing that's been consistent across my guest stories is the power of collaboration, the power of leveraging other people's networks and connections and resources and ideas to build their own ideas and dreams. What I've often found from their stories is they've been able to accomplish their goals quicker and faster by leaning on other people's, support. And support can come in many ways. By collaborating with others, you get introduced to a new world of not just opportunities, but also connections that can help drive your idea forward. When you consider even, athletes, right, in the most competitive sports, they often testify to the power of collaboration. A lot of them don't, they have to train with other, athletes, teammates, coaches, etc., to really achieve their goals. I love this saying I came across a while back, which reads, "The people at the top collaborate, but the people at the bottom compete." I think collaboration is beyond just working with people. It's a mindset. It's an understanding that actually when you join forces with like-minded individuals, there is so much you can accomplish. So make sure you go out there, find networks, find groups, find people who share similar interests to you, and identify avenues through which you can join forces with them to accomplish your goals and their goals. And now we move on to the final point, which is taking initiative. This is one quality that has shone through across all of my guests. The power of taking initiative. I interviewed a lady called Simran recently, who during our conversation shared with me that when she was at a major she actually works for a major consulting firm. She started out during the beginning of the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, when she joined the firm, she realized that they didn't have a strong enough speak up culture. So she collaborated with a couple of other analysts to write up a proposal on how this firm could implement better ways to empower people to speak up. They wrote the proposal, went to a senior director, proposed a plan to the senior director, and latterly that plan was accepted and baked into what has now become their, Black, action plan. It's amazing how she didn't have everything figured out. She just saw a need and she took the lead in that area. She sought to address it. And it's incredibly important to use your talents, your gifts, your skills, your voice, to leverage them to make a difference. You won't always have the perfect circumstances. You won't have everything figured out. Just take a step and start from where you are. And that brings us to the end of the interview. Thank you for sticking by. I hope those points resonated with you. If they did, please, drop your thoughts and reflections in the comments. And whilst you're there, hit the like and subscribe button. Until the next video. Thank you. Bye.